because I'm living my life to the fullest. So I love that I'm here with you guys. I am Sandra Pelly, the Sandini. This is day 2 of the Little You, Meet My Guides. And this is an adorable picture of my daughter. And I just don't even know what's going through her mind here, just because of the way she's standing, the way she's holding her arms. She's just so cute, the knobbly little knees. I thought this was a very profound statement. Seeing is believing. And that's an old paradigm. We have to believe. We strongly have to believe before we can really step into that that seeing part. So the new paradigm is believing is seeing. Once you really start to believe and understand and feel that connection in a much bigger sense, then you will really truly start to feel that you are able to see a lot better. I just literally took this picture in Sedona, Arizona. This is the Cathedral Rock where there's a beautiful energy vortex. So as we're doing this, feel into the energy of that energy vortex and feel the calmness of it, feel the strength that comes through it. Connect with that higher self while we're at it. So that's what we're going to do right now. I align myself this day with my higher self. For the highest good and the greatest good of all. Me, myself, and I, the little you, physical body, higher self, the mind, body, soul, the past, present, future, the beginning, middle, end into infinity. It's the power of 3. Today we're covering the little you. So the little you, that's the me. The me. The little you constitutes the ages between conception and to 5 years of age, and sometimes even as far up as 7 years of age. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few moments. It's about the past events of how we look at our life, both in this lifetime and past lives. At the beginning, we could trace back to specific points in our little you where we were affected. And that's why that age of conception to 5 years and 7 years of age is so important. I've actually worked with people who actually have had things happen to them that affected them their whole life, and it was in conception. It was in that first 9 months in the womb. It wasn't even in while they were outside of the womb. And then there's the mind as well, the ego mind of a young child's memory and the inability to move forward. So here again is my sweet little granddaughter, the little you. It's the me in the me, myself, and I. It's the importance of the self-love, the value of me, the importance of play. And you can just see her exuberance. Every year for the last 2 years, her dad and mom have gotten her a bouncy castle to play in on her birthday. And she's just so enjoys it. She spends hours in it. It's incredible to watch. And I get in there with her. I love it. It's so much fun. And her mom gets in there. Her dad gets in there. And even my husband's gotten in there a couple times. So the little you, the higher self wants so much for us. And our little you is fighting us many steps of the way. The little you is going by what has happened in the past. The higher self sees our future. Giving our little you room to grow, letting the little you guide us to the moments that need looking at, those aha moments. So I really wanted to kind of talk for a few moments just about those little you moments, because I think they're very, very important. What happens is if we have a rut that we seem to be doing again and again and again in our lives, it continually is happening over and over again, then in all likelihood, it is because of something that happened in our past, in our childhood. And sometimes this behavior is even coming from past lives. But the way to deal with it is truly by giving our little you room to grow so that they can guide us to those moments that we need looking at. And it's really intriguing how that happens. It can happen in a dream. It can happen in us suddenly realizing that the thing that we're doing is something that is having little service in our life. and it's causing conflict. And why is this happening to us, right? It's that rut. For an example of that is I had this dream in 2017. It was a big, long, convoluted dream. What it came down to, once I understood it a little bit more, it was more to do with how my dad had not seen us as children, and how he had not seen my mom as his wife, and how he had not even seen my kids either. And by not seen, I mean he was more concerned with going golfing or going to the Royal Canadian Legion, and drinking. And he missed many events of my children. He missed probably many events of mine. I have incredible memories of my dad, so please understand that I say this with love about him, because it really helped me to understand where I personally was not seeing myself, because I didn't feel I was important because my dad had not seen me. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about moments that need looking at. When we have a dream and something is unfolding for us as starting to understand what's going on. We're going to go into a meditation. It's really important for you to start to understand what some of your ruts are, what some of your moments are that might be the result of your little you and things that have happened to you as a childhood, in that first 5 to 7 years, almost 8 years if you consider the 9 months of conception as well. If you take a moment to take a breath, feel the energy settling in. Like I said before, that beautiful energy of Sedona, Cathedral Rock, the energy vortex. I have personally experienced the energy vortexes there, and if anyone else has and have felt the energy of that, it's this beautiful calmness, this sense of support. I also would like us to connect with our higher self, because there's this beautiful guide that we're very intimate with. So asking to connect with your higher self. We're also going to do that incredible brain slide. So imagine the small version of yourself, the little you on the top of your head. The beautiful slide going down into your heart space. And imagine the little you sliding down that slide. Feel the woohoo! Beautiful. And as your little you is standing there, feel the beautiful energy that is in that room. Picture or get a sense, accept, trust, and believe that your little you is with you. Know that your little you is with you. And in that knowing, that acceptance, with an open mind, body, and soul, feel that little you, your little you. And as your little you is standing there, or sitting, whatever age your little you is at, welcome your little you. Ask your little you if they would like a hug. Or if they'd just like to hold their hand. Allow yourself to have that first impression of what your little you is wearing. Whatever pops into your mind, believe that, accept it, trust it. Even look at their feet. Are their shoes or socks even on? Are they barefoot? And this is a beautiful, sacred place. No judgment, truly just love and acceptance. And ask your little you if they'd like to go on a journey. And on the beginning steps of this journey, would they like to be carried or would they like to hold your hand? And if they want to be carried, do they want to be piggybacked or do they want to be held in your arms? And remember too that this is your beautiful energy, that you have the freedom and ability to move as you would love to move, that you have this beautiful agility, this flexibility, and this youthfulness in your energy, your physical energy right now as you're joining with your little you on this journey. So you do have the capability to carry your little you if you need to, or she or he desires to be carried. And the first thing that we're doing is leaving this building that we're in, and if you're inside a building, and feel the energy of yourself walking outside of the building, out into the yard. For some of you, there might even be a pet that is with you. Feel the energy of that pet. How much joy it brings to your little you. And while you're with your little you, take a look around the yard. Feel the energy of the type of fence, or if there is no fence, and what may be in the yard. And as you're looking around, have a sense of what the ground is like, whether it's grass, dirt, gravel. Know that the first thing that pops into your mind is what it is. Yes, it may shift into something else. However, leave the second guessing alone. Have this knowing that yes, at first it may have been this, but then it shifted to this. And then feel which one feels comfortable to you and go with that one. Or ask your little you to show you which one is the best. And in the yard is a table. And your little you is pulling you over to the table. And on this table is almost like a banquet of food. And there's some things there that your little you definitely says that is yucky. And then they reach out to one food that they absolutely love. Feel the energy of your little you as they see that food. And for some of you, There may be the energy of conflict over this. What I'd like for you to do is to let your little you know that this is their time to shine. That while you're in this moment, this here and now, this beautiful sacred space, that they are allowed to have that freely. And ask your little you to be their own regulator of how much they will have of that. Let them learn where that limit is. And let them know that they have this limitless ability to do just that. To know what the good amount is for them, what the positive amount of that is for them. And it's so funny because I see liver and onions on the table. And for my little you, that's yucky. So let your little you show you one really yucky food that they really dislike. And let them know that there's no need to take part in eating any of that. That again, this is their space, their time. The two of you are creating this incredible relationship right now. And your little you is thanking you right now for giving them the freedom to do this, giving them the respect to know when to stop. That you're honoring your little you. Your little you is so grateful right now. Feel that beautiful smile that they're bestowing upon you. And as you move away from the table, there is another area set up. And it looks like an art easel with a table with different types of mediums on it. Finger paints, markers, crayons, mud even. This brings up so much joy, so much excitement. I can feel the energy. Again, know in your own heart that this is a beautiful, sacred place. And you have the freedom to do this with your little you. See how your little you runs over, but keeps checking back with you to make sure it's okay. Give that little you the freedom to do that. Give that little you the freedom. You may have yet to experience yourself. Experience that freedom with your little you. The biggest decision you have to make here is, what do you want to use to create a picture? Your little you has already made a choice. Feel the energy of your little you. And this may bring back a very vivid memory of something. Feel into the energy of circumstances turning out far differently, far better in the cases where the vivid memory is one of sadness. This may bring up a memory of something you did create when you were little. Feel the joy of that piece of artwork. Recreate it now if you want. There is no judgment in this space. And look at how beautiful your little you looks with whatever medium your little you has chosen, splashed on them or drawn on them. That they are truly getting into the energy of creating a masterpiece. See that masterpiece for what it is. Feel the power of creating with that masterpiece. Praise your little you just like she's praising you. Look at what the two of you have created. You may have each created something separately, or maybe you worked together. In either case, you have been side by side, creating this beautiful masterpiece. Know that this masterpiece is in your heart space. That you have a beautiful, special place for this art piece. I almost feel as though some of you are even high-fiving your little you. There has been so much healing done around this creating of this beautiful masterpieces that you've done. Allow that freedom to flow into the rest of the parts of your life. Feel how it's this beautiful cloak of energy that you're wearing, like a superhero. Feel how the little you has their cloak on too. They're loving this. Feel the energy of that. Feel the energy of that joy. Feel it in your feet, in your hands, in your heart, in your throat, in your eyes, on the beautiful smile on your own face. And now your little you are flying through the air to a tree house because of your super capes, your superhero powers. Believe that, accept it, trust it. And as you land in this tree house, look at the type of tree that you have landed in. Feel the magnificence and strength of that tree. Take a look around at the tree house that you're in. Is it very simple or is it very elaborate? Is it small or is it very large? Feel into the energy of that tree house. For some of you, this may be the very first time ever being in a tree house. And as you're looking around outside of the treehouse, you can hear the birds. And your little you is jumping up and down and pointing excitedly at one that is at a branch not far from the treehouse. And it's okay to be loud. It's okay to be jumping up and down excited. That bird is there because it wants to be there to see you and your little you. Feel the magic of that bird. Remember this bird and look this bird up when you're done. Look up the symbolism of this bird. This bird has something to tell you. And as you're there in the treehouse, the little you wants to show you different parts of the treehouse. Look at the incredible bench that's been created to sit on. Remembering that this is your beautiful energy, this is your sacred space. That this bench can look however you want it to look, however your little you wants it to look. Feel the magic of that. There's even a cupboard. And look at what the cupboard front looks like. Is it 2-doored or 1 door? What does a handle or handles look like? And as you ask the little you, who's going to open it? The one she decides or he decides is going to open it, will open it. And inside are all of these incredible toys and books that you may have had as a child, or you may have wished you had as a child. Feel into the energy of them being in there. And make a promise with your little you to indulge in play. A little bit more frequently in your everyday life. Mm. Feel into the energy of that. Feel how your little you feels so much more a part of you now. Feel that beautiful connection that you have with your little you. Thank your little you for this beautiful journey through so many different aspects of their life as a child. Honor the healing that has been done, the reconnection. Express your love and gratitude to your little you and let them express theirs back. There's so much love. I am love. I am loved. I am loving. I am lovable. I love me. I am divine love. And let your little you know that you are committed to the promise of bringing a little play into your life. Ideally on a daily basis, and for sure on a weekly basis. That you're committed to keeping this beautiful connection with your little you. And allow or let your little you stay and play with those toys in the treehouse, knowing that you are able to go back any time of the day, any time of the night, in your dreams, in your waking moments, and visit and play with your little you. Just as they will do with you in those moments when you choose to play in your everyday life. Feel that beautiful connection that you have with your physical body, and that you have that super cape on all the time. Feel your energy in the spot that you are physically in, saying farewell for now to your little you, of being in that space, but that you are still connected strongly, wholeheartedly with your little you. Feeling the freedom to speak your personal truth with your little you as well. There's so much joy, so much love floating around within you as well as outside of you. And as you come back to the here and now in this beautiful sacred space, feeling the connection of where you are to the seat you're sat in, or the chair, the vehicle, whatever the case may be. And so it is. Beautiful. Hello. Q&A. Would love to have some questions. Hi, Sharon, I see you're unmuted. Unmute
Yes,
yourself.
that was amazing. That was so beautiful.
Good, good. Did you find that it brought up any specific memories or some things that maybe you now have a better understanding around?
I just felt that feeling safe and trusting was the biggest for her.
Beautiful.
And so I just made a huge effort to assure her that she is safe and that she can trust and that I am there for her.
I love that. Beautiful. Exactly.
And we played so much. We even had a tea party in the treehouse.
Oh, that's awesome. For me, it was GI Joes. My mom always bought Barbies, and I always wanted to play with the GI Joes because I was a tomboy.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. How about yourself, Colleen?
Oh, it was fantastic. She was really happy and pointing things out to me and wanting to swing all the time on the swing.
Oh, I love that.
So really high. And in the treehouse, we played it with the Jack in the Box. I don't know why. Yeah, I think I had one when I was a kid.
I love that.
And we climbed high and higher and higher in the tree. We just kept going up and up.
Wow. I know I wanted to mention too that when it came up to all the toys and that the energy came strong through very strongly of us having the ability to actually go out and get something from our childhood, like a toy or something. I know for myself, when I was first started working with my little you, I went out and I actually purchased a little set of Lego, and it's a little wizard on a little mountain, and actually he's got a white dragon with gold and stuff, and I love that little piece, and it's something that I have. I may even have it with me, I'm unsure, but it's something that's very important to me because it really is a symbol of my childhood and how much I love to play with Lego as a child. So that you can probably find yourself a little Jack in the Box if you haven't already got one, right? Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Sheila?
The dogs are really barking, so I don't know how it will go.
That's all right.
So we did painting. She painted with her feet, and I painted with my hands, and we created a picture. So it was very tactile.
I love that. I love that her feet were in that. So was it finger painting paints or mud or finger paints?
Yep.
I love that.
Well, or toe paints, I guess you could say.
Yeah. That's so cool. Right on. Thank you for sharing. How about yourself, Maria?
Yeah, we had a fun time. She loved to play with colors, so we did that, and she urged me to take back a little bit of strength in my body that she had have more courage and to use it more in the same way. She did.
Wow, very powerful. That must have been I saw these beautiful healing greens, so that must have been that, like, just how the energy of that was flowing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I like this meditation. It's very good.
It was a lot of fun. I know I kept feeling like I was getting very emotional because I felt such a connection with my little you. It was beautiful. How about yourself, Marie?
Yeah, I did like finger painting too. And it was just like all these colors and the messes, and like the bottom of my hands were just all different colors. And my little you was painting horses, and it's weird because I now do have horses, and it was like some kind of self-confidence. It was like reminding me. It was interesting. I really, it's going to take a little time, I think, to let it all sink in, but it's very fascinating, very fascinating. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Wow. And I love that your little you loved horses as a child, and you now have horses. I love that. Like what a beautiful guidance that you had to come to this point.
Yeah. It's something that when I took up rescuing them, really kind of put a flip on my life. It's not, I didn't rescue them, they rescued me. I guess that's the easiest way to put it.
I love that. Thank you for sharing.
3 things stood out for me when I was at a picnic a forest preserve when we were in the yard. Mine was actually a forest preserve, and there was a picnic table set up with food, and my little you didn't like the hard-boiled eggs, but I find it interesting because I like them as an adult. I love hard-boiled eggs, so I thought that was kind of interesting. And then seeing the birds, I didn't see just one, I saw two, which I thought was interesting. I saw a cardinal and a finch. And then in the in the tree house, mine was just all dolls, like Thumbelina that I had when I was a kid, and beautiful Chrissy who had the hair that grew, and Mary Poppins, and I had a Mary Poppins bag, like with, I don't know, maybe a magic wand or something that came in it. I can't honestly remember, but I was playing with dolls in the tree house.
I love that. I love that. I know I still have some of my dolls from childhood.
You do?
I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Hmm.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing, Cynthia. How about yourself, Carrie?
Oh, wow. So much came up for me. I am so excited that you did this with us. And yeah, I'd like to know more about how to do that for myself, the meditation through that. So I'm sure you're going to go into a lot of that at some point in your program. But anyway, oh gosh, taking my little one out was really fun because just Sunday I had my grandson. He's like 5 years old over here, and part of my delight is to play with him. I don't recall my parents or grandparents ever playing with me when I was little like that. And so, I just am playing with him, and we got in, he loves Legos. So we ended up doing Legos, or if we're even coloring or painting or anything, he'll give me an assignment, like it's Sunday, it was, he made this amazing, spaceship, and of course I'm praising him, what a genius and how wonderful he is, and does he know that? And he goes, oh yeah, I know that. And it's so adorable because he knows he's wonderful, and I'm just delighting in all that. But anyway, so he starts handing me bits and pieces of Legos to make my own spaceship, and so I'm actually asking him, well, I don't know, because you're the expert here, and I don't know if I'm going to be doing it right. Can you help me? And he's just like stepping into his power, and he's helping me. And I realized that doing that for my own little one, was so amazing. It was like I could just let her be an expert.
Yes.
I mean, in creativity, it doesn't matter, because the thing that was really big for me as a kid, as a little one, was I loved making mud pies. I was a mud pie baker. I made mud pie cakes and pies, and I was fascinated by it, and I'd get in a lot of trouble because, I'd be making mud pies in the flower bed and being all messy and messing the flowers up. And I really thought it was quite unfair that I would get in trouble for something that was so fun and just drew me in. I just had to do it. It just was compulsive there. And as I realized that how much I loved clay and, just that very tactile sculpting throughout my years. So that was really fun to see. And then, the bird was hilarious. We had a parakeet when I was young. So little Pedro was out on the branch, and he was flashing his tail's feathers, and he was dancing around and making spins and just doing this whole dance out on that branch. It was absolutely hilarious and fun to watch. So those were my things.
I love that. And I think you brought up a very important part there, that you remember that it was frowned upon to be playing in the mud in these different areas. And I feel that as we walk through that guided meditation, that there was a whole reason why it was continually brought back to, this is your space, this is your time, this is your, you have the ability to do this, you are empowered to do this, there's no judgment here, right? And really understanding that that's that relationship that we can have with our little you is very important, because our little you has been shut down so frequently, and this is part of that growing those like stretching out of those boxes again in a big way. I also wanted to address something else that you asked about, Carrie. Essentially, when I started to do meditations, I realized that I was very uncomfortable with a scripted meditation. So I literally asked my guides to provide whatever needed to be provided while I was doing a meditation. So as I'm speaking, I am being flashed, or I'm feeling, or I'm sensing these different things. Like I'll be talking about, I was talking about that picnic table, and then off to the side, just as I was finishing up the picnic table, I felt that there was the art easel there. So that's how that happens. That's how that unfolds, is I just allow the energies to show me what needs to come up next, and then I just voice it. And I voice it with confidence. I am confident in my innocence. I am censorship free. So I say what comes up instead of going, oh, I can't say that, I can't do that, I can't do this. I literally just go ahead and say it, and I'm confident in my innocence. I'm confident in my childhood innocence of whatever comes through is what's supposed to come through, and that it will be what's needed for the group. It's just like I had no idea mud was going to be in there until I was told to put mud into that meditation, right?
Yeah, well, mud was for me because I needed to revisit that and work through that. When you said mud, all inside me, I went all happy giggles, and just, because oh my gosh, I could do it for hours when I was little. And it just seemed like I went into a different zone.
I felt the energy of that.
I was making an amazing banquet of just delicious, delightful delicacies of, it's mud. And of course, we know we're not going to eat the mud. And I'm a mess. And I was laughing because I'm going, when we're creative, it is a mess. It's a mess for me right now. I'm creating something right now. Well, I've got piles all over my house of this project and that one and this one, and this ties in and that ties in, and I am just, it's a mess, but it's so creative and fun. And I just have to sometimes just get outside of the stiff upper lip or parental judgment that we need to be a neat and tidy little girl who has clean pinafore dress and little shoes and the hair curls. Oh no, let's get digging in, and let's just, who cares if there's mud spots all over my cheeks and whatever, because I was just in another world. So anyway, it was so fun. Thank you. And I got to go back through last night, yesterday's. That was so amazing too. And I was having the same question. So thank you for sharing how you
channel.
We'll channel.
It's channeled. Yeah.
And I'm just going to have to just learn how to do that.
Just
so
step
beautiful.
into it. Like honestly, just step into it by setting it up with your guides that's what you want to do. Truly, my guides just come through with the most incredible things. And because I've left it open to them with no expectations and no limitations, it's incredible what happens, what comes through. So thank you for asking that question. And I think it's also really, thank you for sharing, Carrie. I'm just going to mute you and say something a bit more to this. And Daniel, I'm going to ask you next. But in the meantime, I wanted to mention that the way we're going to work with our little you from here on, ideally, is recognize that when you have this big mess all over the house, to step away from the judging of yourself, to step away from feeling guilty about it, and you know, go play in that pile of papers, or go play in that pile of plates and dishes and whatnot. Consider it playing when we go and wash the dishes. I mean, my 3-year-old granddaughter loves washing the dishes. We make a heck of a mess, but it's fun, and that is starting to play. Okay, bringing in our childhood like that, right?
Sandra, I do have a question, please.
Okay, thank you.
This doesn't kind of have anything to do with this, but in a way it does. I recently had an aura picture taken, and I was not in my body at all. All my chakras was above my crown. And aside from grounding, what does that mean for me?
Okay, I love that. If you are feeling grounded and yet this aura is showing that you're outside of your body, I would feel that is more of a soul picture. Because if I would love to go get an aura picture done, because I really feel that my soul, my aura is huge compared to my physical body, that I am actually, my soul energy far extends my body. So
And mine did too, and I did feel grounded. So I was very surprised when they said, you know, that was showing I wasn't grounded, because I do feel very grounded.
Then I would put it to what their limitations are, because if you are personally feeling grounded and you are feeling beautiful, energetic energy and whatnot, then go with what you feel like, because they may have limiting beliefs on what they're taking pictures of, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. And I like what you said about that was like a soul picture.
Yeah.
And it was so many amazing colors, and it was just really beautiful. This was the first time I'd ever done that. And
I've never done one. Well, and truly that is like I said, okay, let me back step away a couple steps here. My mom, I did Reiki on her once, and at that point it was a really bad point in her life. She's been browbeaten, physically, verbally abused by her husband for decades. And when I did this Reiki energy work on her, I couldn't feel her aura. She literally had no aura. She was so closed in. So when I think of that and where I personally am now myself, and how like people feel my energy, you know, coming kind of thing, you know, like I reach out to my granddaughter and she feels me coming towards her, and I'm still half a city away from her kind of thing. Right.
right.
So understand that our energy, as we become more aware, as we become more filled with love, we become this expansive energy. And that is actually our soul energy that has grown and is expanding outside of our body. Our body, when we are born, our soul is this huge amount of energy, and we've got to come into this little tiny little, you can't even see it, egg inside
Right.
of a woman's body, right?
Right.
Or the sperm, whatever the energy is. And to imagine now that we are growing, and as we grow, our soul keeps expanding with that. But as we grow more aware, more connected, and more in love with ourselves, and more in love with the things around us, our soul just continues to expand and expand, and it far exceeds what our physical body is. And that is why we have this energy that is just so positively affecting everybody else. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much for that. And I wanted to also say, when your granddaughter, that picture of her going down the slide, that reminded me of the brain slide. How perfect was that picture of
Exactly.
our little me sliding down? That was just so perfect. And also Carrie, when she was talking about her mud pies, my little me, she loved her easy bake oven. And the easy bake oven was in the tree house. And we were just so into that. And when I was little, we could do that for hours. I just loved making those little cakes, and it was just so much fun. So I could feel Carrie's excitement, and it just really, I related to that so much about the easy bake oven. So thank you, all of you.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Sharon. So remember for being connected with your higher self, that you want to be thinking with optimism, thinking with hope, feeling hopeful about things. The little you, take a moment to enjoy something that you're doing. Look at it differently. Look at it like your little you would look at it. Like I said, doing the dishes. I actually absolutely love doing the dishes, and I love vacuuming. And it's because of that joy that I bring in with my little you, that I have a lot of fun with it. So remember those things, okay? And everybody have a great day. You are an incredible part of my tribe, and I really find that each one of you is special. So thank you so much.